What's up guys, Jiven back with another video, and as you can see, I have officially rebranded this channel to the name Jiven VODs. I'm going to be primarily posting VOD review content on this channel from here on out. This is going to be community VOD reviews where you guys send in clips and I VOD review your footage. It'll be client VOD reviews for people that pay me to VOD review an entire tournament. It'll be personal VOD reviews of my friends, and more. I think this is going to help me learn the game way faster and help you guys learn too. And I needed a little bit of a change in my daily routine, so this is going to be a fun switch up. Without further ado, let's hop into the first ever community VOD review. This is just going to be random clips from different endgames and people send in questions for their clips. First one of the day is from the GOAT, Raffi. So Raffi was basically asking whether or not I think he should have stayed up high or gone down low. So right here you make room, which is good because that gives you time to analyze the situation. What I would have done here is scout high ground a little bit more. High ground wasn't really spraying at you, and in trios especially, you would think that if high ground is secured, they're going to be heavy spraying everyone. So if I was in your shoes and I wasn't getting triple sprayed here, I probably would have taken a little bit of time to peek at high ground. One big thing here is you don't really need to tarp this. I would literally just make 1 or 2 boxes so that you scout around, see what's going on, and then make a decision. Are you going for height or going for low? If you're going for low, you literally just sprint rotate it to front, maybe do a cheap build, but try to conserve some of those mats. Raffi literally went crazy and started one-pumping everyone on low ground, and then right here, when you get all of these heals, I could tell you were thinking about doing it, but I would have definitely just literally slow ramped up behind high ground and checked it out. Like if it's a trio, you might have been able to get them to drop and fight on low ground because you did have so many mats. But when you shoot at them here, that just puts you on their radar and gives them time to prepare from the attack from you basically. A sneak play might have gotten you the dub. It would have been tough though because it looks like it was a 1v3 at the end. You literally got a top 2 anyways, so big props, bro. The next submission is from Kaze, and he was asking about the first part of the clip. He's asking about this refresh fight here. This one's kind of tough because you are low on mats and you need to make a play. Like when I first look back at this, it doesn't look like the right play. It worked out and you got a double kill, but your teammate does go down. The reason I say it doesn't look like the right play is because you can see Jeff here. He has his builds out and he's box fighting the team next to him. So if you jump in, that's going to give the team next to them a perfect opportunity to jump in on you, which is exactly what happens. So my immediate thought is maybe get on the other side of Oliver's team here and box fight them from the front so that you're pinching them between the two teams. It's tough to make that, identification in the moment, but that's what I'm seeing from after the fact. That's how your teammate could have not died in this situation. So in this next clip here, Sketchy is wondering why he got lobby focused while trying to connect here. Now let's try to think about this. When I see you going down here, if you look at the zone, it is because you are on back edge of zone that everybody has sights on you. The zone is almost finished closing, so pretty much everyone is based up right now and they're all looking around for something to shoot at. It would have been fine if you connected here, honestly, but the problem was you were facing the wrong way, so you left the side where everybody's based up, you left that side visible and they were able to shoot you. If you built walls facing that direction, you probably would have been fine. So we're mainly checking out tourneys, but I thought this is a really good beginner tip to include. Luke sent in a little arena endgame here, where he dies when he jumps in. This is a key lesson. When there are 2 other players besides yourself, whoever fights first is usually going to lose, unless they play it really well. But because you jumped in, that gave the other player a perfect chance to jump in behind you and third party. And the other thing is, I would recommend you lower your mouse sensitivity because your aim is a little bit shaky, and I think it's because of your sense. So moving into the next game, Clemcodes here was wondering if there's any way for him to save some shield or mats in this end game a little bit more efficiently. So the biggest thing that I noticed from watching your gameplay back, and you can probably notice it right away, is that you're tarping pretty much the whole zone here. Even though it's a cheap tarp, it's still a tarp nonetheless. And something you should do a little bit more is pause a little bit and scout for sprint rotates. See if there's any way you can sprint across the zone. Even if you take a little damage, at least you're saving a couple hundred mats. Even if you don't sprint rotate, you got the grapple, so you could do that as well. I don't know if your teammate had grapple, which is why I assumed you're gonna go for a sprint rotate. Eventually you take height though, and from there it's pretty much a GG's, so well played, bro. So Epic Wolf here was wondering what he should have done to save mats on this rotate. And now I can tell almost right away that the biggest mistake happened right off the bat in the first millisecond of the video. Right here, you can see there's nobody on front edge of zone. Everybody is playing the back edge, waiting for somebody to rotate first. And because you're a solo in a duo endgame, you don't want to be the first one to move because they're going to identify you're the solo and focus you the whole way, which is exactly what happened. Basically, what you should have done is just kind of rat around that corner and try to see what everybody else is doing. Play it slow and wait for that window where height is distracted, and that's when you could have rotated. So for the next clip, this guy's name is Dollar Street Jivin to start it off. Like, so we sent in 2 clips. Look at this first one. This is so funny, bro.
No, 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 no! I just got so
Crack that! Oh my god!
no one moves that! Up, 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 up! Get up! Get up!
I'm not gonna lie, we've all been there, bro. I'm pretty sure Ken Beans did that to me once. Shot a tree out to grief people, and then it just ends up like griefing me. So funny, bro. Okay, so the actual game we're gonna be checking out here. So right here, he's not quite in the zone. He's looking around for a refresh. He still has good enough mats to make it into the zone and everything, but it is a good time to start looking for a kill. I would say the main thing when you're going to push this guy is make sure you block off any extra angles. You did a really good job keeping your eyes on him, but you gotta make sure you're blocking the angles because there are a lot of other players alive. On top of that, you probably want to secure yourself in the safe zone before going for a refresh like that because, as you saw, it pulled max distance, and because you weren't quite in the zone yet, that just like completely scuffed you. And then once you get shot out and cracked by the grapple here, knowing that height was the one shooting you, you need to break line of sight from him. Drop down, get behind somebody else's builds, make sure you're safe. You still had enough mats to create some distance, but Height's definitely going to continue to push that if he gets the crack. I just realized it wasn't even Height that killed you, but all that stuff that I said, that's the reason you died for sure. In this next clip, this is from Zone Wars, and he was wondering whether he should try to stay ahead with the mats he has, go up layers, down layers, what he should have done because he's really weak and needs to get heals off. Really, the way I handle this situation is I tarp a bit so that I can get some heals off, and then I put myself in a position where I can look back and down for a kill on somebody that shambles on low ground to get some siphon. That way, I'm healthy again. It's a tough situation to survive, but that's basically the gist of it. So Ghostly here was wondering how he can disengage from a fight in a tournament situation because he needed to rotate zone, but this team was above him. This is a tough situation because if you leave first, you're going to get sprayed at every single time, unless the other kids are mad chill like that, you know? But what I would have done if I was in your shoes is take a bit more time to scout and look ahead to see if there's any ways you can break line of sight with them. You kind of just sprinted into the open and tried to block their angle, but by doing that, you would have had to build them off the entire way to zone. So the better route is to be patient, try to find a way to break line of sight, and if you can't do that, feel the waters. Don't fully disengage, but start to move a little bit away and see if they spray at you. If they do, you might just have to fight them or wait for them to leave. So Bigfoot here was wondering where he should have boxed. Honestly, I think that in a situation like this where you're rotating in late, where you boxed was fine. There's not a much better place I could see from this POV, but the issue was you based one layer above the person below you. So you need to be aware that if you start to get sprayed at from different directions, which you probably will, that kid right next to you is going to try to spray you down just like he did. This is something you always got to look out for. If you start to get lobby focused, somebody nearby you is oftentimes going to try to sneak an attack. So just create a little bit more extra room next time and make sure you know that the person next to you is going to push if you get lobby focused. So Jay here is trying to rotate into the 4th zone. Let's watch his approach here. So right here, you can already see that you're rotating in a little bit late, which is going to mean it's a tougher rotate. But right here, right as you get into this valley of openness, you can immediately see all the teams that are based up on the cliff. Anytime I see that, I am like, oh snap, bro. I either need to completely full build this with ramps and walls, or I need to completely change directions and break line of sight with those mountain teams. Something you could have potentially done here is gone to the left behind all these full tarps, and you would have broken line of sight with all those kids on the mountain. One of the most important things to IGLing these earlier zones is figuring out line of sight breaks, how to minimize the amount of teams that can see you when you're rotating in. So in this clip, Jeg was wondering what he should have done on his rotate, and right here you're kind of going sideways from the zone, so just make sure in this situation you could have literally just straight lined it, I think. But the main reason you went down here is because you and your duo split up. As soon as you guys aren't together anymore and you're weak, like, you're identified as a solo and you're always going to get sprayed at. So just make sure you stay together and make sure you know you're headed the right way to zone. I think if you just straight lined it, you would have been chilling. So on that note, we are done with the first community VOD review on Jivin VODs. Sorry for those of you that didn't make it in the video. I had a lot of submissions, but you're always welcome to submit for the next video, which is going to be a solo Cash Cup video. If you want to enter solo Cash Cup clips, the details are in the description. And stay tuned to the community tab post because that's where I'm usually going to announce when we're starting up the next community VOD review video. Anyways guys, don't forget to use code JivinTV and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.